So we've got a story here about a yacht being boarded in the Bahamas. 21st of October this happened. The yacht, named Motor Yacht Odin, a 38-meter yacht built in the US flagged vessel, was boarded by authorities in the Bahamas on Bimini Island in the Bahamas. And they found what they described as a cache of weapons and a big amount of undisclosed money. We're going to get into the details of it. So the timeline of this yacht's movements: the yacht left Fort Lauderdale on the 13th of October. Like I said, it's a US flagged vessel. It's flagged. Its home port is Sag Harbor in New York. The vessel was in Fort Lauderdale on the 13th of October, headed to Miami, then proceeded to make a number of short trips back and forth from Miami. Each time, one was to Key Biscayne, each time returning back to port in Miami. And then on the 21st of October, the vessel sailed to the Bahamas. Now, it's a short trip over there, and they arrived at 1320 UTC, which is 8:20 local time on the same day, the 21st of October. Now, the yacht was boarded approximately 11:30 local time. The police officers from Alice Town Police Station and the Bahamas Customs Department searched the boat docked at a port in Bimini Island. Authorities say they were acting on intelligence. Now, we're going to come back to that in a minute, but that generally means that somebody told them that there was weapons on board, right? So the police say they found 3 high-powered weapons, 11 firearms, a substantial amount of ammunition, and a considerable amount of undeclared cash, which were all confiscated. Now, high-powered weapons suggests rifles, doesn't it? High-powered. 11 firearms, so pistols maybe, I don't know. The authorities say the weapons and cash have been confiscated, and the investigation continues. Now, the suspects, it says everybody was arrested on board the vessel. 8 Americans, 1 South African, and 1 Guyanese, aged between 21 and 62. They're all taken into custody. Now, that vessel can carry 9 guests, and it has a crew of 6. So the crew of 6 were probably on board, right? 6 crew were also amongst those arrested. The Bahamian customs authorities strictly enforce regulations for the temporary importation and exportation of firearms, noting officials have imposed stiff penalties on US citizens who enter the Bahamas with firearms or ammunition. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of the laws in the Bahamas when it comes to firearms. I'm not going to get into that here. One of the things that we've always said, and we've made a number of videos over the years about firearms, carrying firearms on yachts, why they don't do it generally. I think this subject prompts more comments than any other subject that we do on this channel. Now, I understand that in the US, there's a very specific group of people who are very pro guns. I'm not going to get into the details of that, whether it's right or wrong, whether people should have them or not. I'm not interested in that. But what we've always tried to point out in the past videos and in this video is when you travel out of the US, you have to abide the laws of the country that you're going to. Even when you're traveling within the US, even if you're in Texas, say that, I think. Let's just say Texas, because I know that's a lot of people have weapons in Texas. If you're in Texas on a yacht and you sail to Los Angeles, the laws in that different state may be different with regards to what you can carry in. So even within the US, there are different laws that you have to abide by moving from place to place. So if you go from the US to the Bahamas, then you have to abide by the rules and regulations in the Bahamas. Now, like I said, we get more comments about this than any other subject. People will say, well, if I had a yacht, I would have weapons on board, regardless of whether it's allowed or not. And I've always said in the comments and in videos that if you carry weapons into another country that are undeclared, you'll get arrested. Everyone on board will get arrested. And that's exactly what's happened here, it would seem. Undeclared weapons have been found on a vessel and everybody's been arrested. You might be in Miami and maybe it's perfectly legal to have those weapons in your possession on board that vessel there. And it could be even that the yacht the yacht changed hands in July. So this is whoever owns this vessel now is quite new to ownership of this vessel. But it may be that they keep them on board all the time and they just forgot about them. And they had them in a cupboard, because they go shooting, clay shooting, do whatever they do with those weapons when they're in the US, which is perfectly legal, right? And it may be that they said, let's go to the Bahamas, and they just completely forgot. And they travel down the Bahamas, and then boom, they get caught with these weapons on board. And to the Bahamas authorities, they're illegally importing weapons, right? So it could be as simple as that. It could, it could be that they, like I said, they carry these weapons deliberately, hidden, concealed. And what I always said in previous videos is that if you cannot carry things like that on a yacht and people not know about it, there's no law. I know what people are going to say. I'm preempting what people are going to say in the comments, that just because you're flagged in the US, your yacht, it does not mean it's like a US embassy where all of the yacht is part of the US. It's not how it works. When you're on a vessel in international waters, you can carry those weapons because your flag state allows it. When you go into another nation's territory, you are bound by the laws of that nation, even when you're on a US flagged vessel or whatever flag you have on that vessel.
Hi, thanks very much for watching this video. If you want to see the full news videos, click on the link over here. And if you'd like to find the channels, you can find the links below here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.